Okay, so now I'm back over to the joiner for step number 6, and these are the boards we just cut on the table saw. This is the 1 9/16 inches thick. This way it's closer to 2 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mark on the surface, both surfaces that were cut on the table saw that are nice and clean. And the reason for that is just so that I know that I'm not jointing those and making it thinner than it needs to be. Okay? So I'm marking all of those. That way I keep the same thickness here. Now, we need to joint one of these edges so that we can go back to the table saw and cut it to our thickness this other direction. And so it's the same process. Take a look at it, which side is going to be best to joint. Looks like I'll do this side. Now this is way below the fence line here, so I'm going to use the push stick to push it through. One pass should probably do it. That looks good on that one. Now obviously this one pass was not good enough because we have that area right there. Make sure it's tight against the fence. Remember, it's removing a lot of material, so you got to go slow. You got to give it time to remove that material. Now we need to head back over to the table saw and do one more cut on each one. Okay, step 7, we're going to cut the remaining face here that is not clean. We're going to cut it off. Now remember, we have this edge here that we marked, this edge, the surface that we marked. We just jointed this edge, so that jointed edge goes against the fence. You're going to have either one of these other faces that is marked down against the table. So we'll cut this off, and then that'll make this nice and square at 1 9/16. So I'm still at 1 9/16 here. Next one, jointed edge, it's not marked, it's the fence. Out of the way. Jointed edge. I'm going to cut that one off. And the last one, there's my jointed edge. Cut that one off. Scraps go in the garbage can. And now I have 4 posts, 4 legs, excuse me, that are all the same, nice and square, 1 9/16 inch square. All right, so this next step is to taper the legs. And what I have here is a leg taper jig, okay? So leg taper jig. It says set the fence to 3 inches. So this is important. You've got to have the fence at 3 inches. Make sure that it's adjusted to 3 inches. And you're going to do this on this special setup table saw where this leg taper jig is. We need to raise the fence or the blade up again, making sure we're up above. Now, we're going to taper 2 edges, and those 2 edges have to be together. So you got to keep track of which edges you're going to taper. So we're going to cut one edge, and then we're going to quarter turn, and we're going to cut the other edge. Okay? Just make sure you do a quarter turn. Use your mark. You can use the marks for reference, and just make sure that you're doing 2 adjoining edges when you do the taper. Okay? So we're going to set this jig right here, and this is a bit tricky here, so you've got to be careful. We're going to put the board here. We're going to bring this in. We're going to bring it tight, and it won't actually start cutting until it gets in about to right there. So I can have this held tight here. I'm not touching the blade here, and I'm going to put down the guard there. I'm going to have my push stick ready because I'm going to push right here on this back part. Let me just lift it up. I'm going to push right here on this back part of the jig, and when I get it in there, I'm going to hold everything kind of tight. But when I start getting close to where I need my left hand back, I've got to let go there, and we'll just push on this back part of the jig, and it'll go ahead and cut through. Okay? So here we go. Once again, just double check that you're clear before you turn on the blade. Keep it all tight. I'm pressing on the jig at the back, letting it slide. Keep it tight. I'm going to go to the push stick now. I got to let go. Push it all the way through. Okay? Turn it off. Let's get this other piece out of here, because you're going to have to bring it back towards you most likely, or lift this up to get it out. That's done there. Now we're going to do a quarter turn, okay, so that that piece that I just cut is up. Don't flip this around or anything, okay? Keep it up, and we're going to do another cut here. So I'm going to lift, check where okay, right there, safe. Put down the guard, turn the saw on, and cut again. Push it, let go. Let that stop. Do not lift this up until it has stopped to get this other little piece out. Okay? And that is how you taper your legs. And so now if you look, you can kind of see that that's got that taper on that edge, and these 2 are straight. You'll need to do that for the other 3 boards as well to taper those legs.